Okay, so this is Avalano back with Digimon World 2003 part 102. Now that we're actually doing stuff, I'll actually talk about the game. This game. Well, what I'm doing is I'm going after the Amaterasu servers Elite 3 Ice, Fire and Dark Masters, because there's an item that I want from the Dark Master, and if I recall correctly, I think I can get the Hazard Armor from the Dark Dungeon as well. Plus I may as well show more of the optional bosses. Also with Boltman hit really hard. They're basically just like Vikemon was a while ago. Though we encounter, not in this video, but a few videos ahead, encounter Vikemon, and they seem to be not as bad anymore. Just I think it was about 600 damage or so it dealt to Kumamon, so they're no problem anymore. Oh yeah, if you talk to Sakura here, she tells her that there's weapons that treasures / weapons that you can't get from the shops. She's basically hinting at the legendary weapons that you make from the old and rusty weapons that I've talked about before. The dungeons are exactly the same, except I think this teleport pad for this dungeon is a completely different one. So I actually spent a lot of time in the ice dungeon, and also apart from this battle, the ice dungeon boss, I basically cut out all the other ones. Well, now I've got not much to say about the game again. Because you'll just be watching me going through a wrong teleporter, going back to the start, going through the ice dungeon again, getting the wrong teleporter, and so on, till I get it. So I've thought about it. I think I might start writing a script with a let's play. Maybe either sooner or later for this let's play, or maybe I'll just wait until my next one before writing stuff up. Because especially in RPGs, there's going to be a lot of time where actually not that much is going on, so I have to think of something else to talk about other than the game itself. Especially in this one, because unlike a lot of RPGs, or maybe I actually like a lot of old RPGs, this game's plot is basically all scrunched up at different points in the game rather than being steady, and like I said before, most of this game is backtracking and going between places over and over. But it's still better than Digimon Battle Online. So that kinda brings up a question that I'd like to ask. Digimon the Digimon games never exactly don't actually have their own set gameplay, or at least it doesn't have its own spin on stuff apart from digivolving. Because, well, let's say in comparison, Pokemon it's basically a standard RPG thing, except you've got a team of 6 one-on-one at all the time and stuff. But with all the things it has in, the different move types, different Pokemon types, more consistent weaknesses and resistances, it makes it a lot more interesting. But because Digimon, it doesn't go too far from the norm. The only difference is, like I said, that your party members digivolve, and that made me think, why not go to their most original battle system, Digimon World 1? You didn't have any control. Well, you did have some control over Digimon, but there was nothing like it. The closest thing was a Tamagotchi, but competition at all. If they just kept the Digimon World 1 system, it'd probably be pretty popular. It was actually a pretty good game that I do remember for PlayStation 1. Monster Rancher. Oh, doing a little bit of research on it, the European Monster Rancher 1 was actually America's Monster Rancher 2 and Japan's Monster Farm 2. Though I heard that the second one's actually the best game in the series. But I liked the game, but I thought Digimon World 1's battle system was way better than Monster Rancher's, because of the pretty much the third dimension. Since the Digimon walk all around the battlefield, in Monster Rancher the monsters just face each other in a straight line and just go. They were just backing off and going forward for attacks. And with the release of a new game, Monster Rancher DS, it's apparently the same thing. Although Monster Rancher isn't exactly going strong, I'd say that Digimon World 1's battle system was strong enough to actually carry the franchise, rather than having to copy off other things like dungeon crawlers in lieu of Digimon World 2 and RPGs in lieu of Digimon World 3/2003. I haven't played it. I heard Digimon World 4 is a kind of Diablo dungeon crawler, action-based dungeon crawl thing. But that's just my opinion. I think they should go back to Digimon World 1 style. But anyway, we've got to the Ice Master here, basically. With basically the same character as the one in the Asuka server. L'Oreal from Pokemon. She starts off with a Vikemon, pretty simple, pretty easy. If you know, you can see when Kumamon battles it here, it'll take a lot less damage than the one that the fourth leader of Asuka server had. Can't remember his name, but because Vikemon did a lot more damage than that. just looking at it now, this battle right now, unlike Pokemon, I know I compare it to Pokemon quite a bit, maybe too much. There's no actual stuff to take advantage of in this game other than just plain old stats and attacks. I very rarely take advantage of weaknesses and tolerances. And I don't actually know how good a tolerance is how much it actually affects it. Like Kumamon has, well, most of my Digimon have between, I'd say, 50 to 200 intolerances and stats. But is 200 actually high, or is it supposed to be low? What's the midpoint? How worse is having 100 than having 200? Is it twice as bad, or is it just a fifth as bad? That partially reminds me of another RPG that doesn't tell you stuff about certain stats. Like, this one doesn't tell you about wisdom and spirit, so it's difficult to know which one did which. In most games, most games, spirit affects healing. It increases the amount you heal, like Final Fantasy. Okay, not Ogre Battle. Oh yeah, but in Ogre Battle it affects in Ogre Battle, spirit affects how less damage you take from how much damage you take from magic attacks. But in this one, it's kind of reversed. In this game, wisdom decreases the damage you take from magic attacks, and spirit increases the damage you do. But going back to that game I was saying, Unlimited Saga, that one doesn't tell you anything about anything at all. Imagine any RPG game, then take away all the descriptions from weapons and abilities, then give spells very vague names. So, for example, use an example from Unlimited Saga, a spell called Detect Aura, and guess what that does? And you're supposed to be able to figure this out for yourself, because the game's never going to tell you. When it's used, when it's used on a boss, you do 5% more damage to it. The game's it's not self-explanatory, and I don't like stuff like that. Especially when it's to do with everything in the game. But I've beat the Ice Master. Oops. I was supposed to talk about battle, but it was easy. But that's kind of it for this video, so once again, thank you for watching, and this has been Avalano with Digimon World 2003. See you next time.